Yer. What up? What up? What's shaking? What's moving? What's bouncing? What's grooving? Textiles in the building here with the Daily Spread podcast. Salute to you for being a part of what we got going on. Appreciate you. We talking about today. What we talking about today? We talking about first of all, what episode is this? It's another episode for sure. We talking about you don't know what you don't know. Because yeah, we could talk about picks all day. Like today's the first day of the NBA. See, today is day one. Tip off, if you will, of the NBA season. And to kick it off, you got the New York Knicks in Boston versus the Celtics, and the Minnesota Timberwolves in Los Angeles versus the Lakers. What looks like two exciting games for the start of NBA 2024. And like I was saying, we could share picks and all that, but by the time you hear this, what sense would it make? The line's been out for them games since August. It's November, almost November, October 22nd, 2024 on your Gregorian calendar, and it's Tishri on your Jewish calendar. What day of Tishri is it? Hold on. 27th of Tishri, 1585, 5785, sorry. So, and then there's other calendars, two other time frames, but whatever you choose to use, hopefully it's to your benefit. The sounds that you're hearing in the background are provided by the one Bill Stigler, Harlem's very own. Get a drummer sound. No, my really. All right, but yeah, a lot going on today, right? We got those two NBA games, but guess what? I would have had this podcast episode recorded a long time ago had I looked at my odds maker and saw seeing that there was more than one game going on for today in hockey. And it's like it's the full slate of hockey today. And I like dogs. I like dogs in hockey today. But again, this information is really not like that relevant to you if you're not going to get an air on this podcast. What's more relevant is you not knowing what you don't know and how it shouldn't matter to you. And what I'm speaking about is to veggie back, as some would say, right? Or to gather some of the fruit left behind um, from the trail from Rob Pizzola that circles off, right? He talked about people saying how, oh, there was like a tweet or something out there that said like people betting on certain markets, you need to call 1-800-GAMBLER if you're betting like preseason basketball, for example, right? Or preseason baseball, right? And like you need to call a number, right? Things of that nature. And it's like, and he said, like, what if somebody has the edge? Like what they know. Basically, is what that's what how I translated it. Because when I do it, it's because I know what I know in most cases, right? And I gotta go off that because in this industry, if I'm not mistaken, you go off what is tried and true, right? So one of the things that I noticed is preseason is over with, so you could take a look into it for next season, is that the Knicks play well in preseason. A few years back, I believe they won the preseason. This preseason, they went 4-1. They even won a game where the rookie started the preseason, well, the game and pretty much played the whole game. and against formidable competition, might I add. And so here we go again. Those Knickerbockers, they play in the regular season now, and they're 5 and 6 point dog against the Celtics, and a lot of money coming in on the Celtics, right? As expected. So let me go back and look at that now. Because the Celtics, yes, for sure they can win a game, but it's day one. And what's the difference between betting day one NBA and day one preseason or day two preseason? To me, it's in what you know and what you don't know. Because if you don't know or don't believe that you have any type of edge, then of course, leave it alone. But what if you do? What if you know that Bronny James is going against Rob Dillingham, for example, right? And if you don't know the narrative I'm speaking of, like James that's was having an atrocious preseason, and it seems to me like every dog of a guard that would against him was salivating at the chance to get at him, right? It's like unleashing, I'm destroying. So that's something that I, thought that people should be privy to. So, and a lot of the moves that I've made on these things has come from information that I've gathered, not only from experience, but from people who put out credible information. For example, a logic of sports betting. I believe that's Ed Miller, right? And David, uh, right? Davidoff, I believe. I'm going off memory here. I can pull it up for sure. But I've listened to this book countless times just to give you a little bit of some more information on why I believe what I believe or come to know what I've come to know in certain regards to certain edges based on certain trends or based on certain tendencies or recognizing various implications on how to play things. So I lean to the Knicks, yes, with the spread, only because of that. It's day one. We got to measure this thing, see where they are. Uh, Celtics could easily win the game and cover the number. They have a great team, great chemistry. The Knicks have yet to play a real game, a regular season game with this new addition of Karl Anthony Towns. And whenever you switch a team up, you got to factor that in. But what if it works in the favor of the team, right? And for that, I want to give an example of what was spoken of by uh, Alan Boston, Red, right? And if you're not familiar, get yourself familiar. Tap into some of the work that's out there, some of the content that's out there on sports betting. Um, got poker content out there, but not so much that content. More or less, some of the key interviews, like on Spank, Be Better Better's podcast and the Best of It film. Like, check out some of the stuff that's out there. If you're not familiar, I advise you to do so because this is how I've come to gain information to be able to be independent when it comes to this. I don't have to go to anybody for picks. I can do certain homework or not and recognize the line movement, recognize or not, or the lack of line movement, or and what it all means because I've studied these things and I continue to study these things and other things that if you stick around and listen to this podcast more, you'll come to recognize yourself, right? So, like in the logic of sports betting, they talk about uh, what the line values are. right? Because a lot of us may think that it comes out from nowhere, like the computer just making these lines up and blah blah blah. But how come they almost are always accurate or close to it? You know, I'm sure you could come up with an idea, uh, if you believe that they just make it up out of nowhere as to why it's always seems to be somewhere close. So that's probably not a good question to ask. In any event, those 2 games are what we have to start off the NBA season. New York Knicks at Boston Celtics, Minnesota Timberwolves at Los Angeles Lakers. Um, both favorites taking in a significant amount of money. I I think both dogs have well well, I like Minnesota, but again, that's a new team as well. So how is that gonna work with the Lakers coming back with pretty much their own roster? And I meant to say something about what Alan Boston mentioned in regards to what the Knicks makeup is right now. For me, you take the Knicks, who's pretty much at the same team from last year, played a significant amount of last year with the same kind of team, except for you have Hardenstein. Instead of Hardenstein, you have Cat. Cat is way better than Hardenstein. So when you give the ball down low to Cat the way Hardenstein was getting it, you're gonna get more buckets. And Hardenstein was giving you every bucket pretty much you could get down low with the floater in the middle. Not only that, Cat plays defense, so I don't know what the people get this notion from, like he's just gonna be this defensive liability if they have this notion, because Cat gets out there and gets to it on the defensive end. He can get blocks, he gets rebounds, he'll get offensive rebounds. They got this thing where they saying he's soft. Listen, whatever y'all think about Cat, I've seen too many dimensions of Cat. I'm not gonna just assume that he's gonna come and play soft and that we're gonna be lacking so much defensively that it's gonna cause the Knicks to lose by 6 to Boston to start the season, right? I really think they could come out and really have a good run, even if they lose by 6, whatever the case may be. I still think that we're gonna see that Cat is gonna be efficient and way better down low than Hartenstein, and you had OG playing a lot of the 4 last year, and you have a taller, uh, Josh Hart out there in Bridges. So, yeah, he can go out there and miss a bunch of shots. Josh Hart goes out there and misses a bunch of shots. I got Hart playing with the 2 and McBride coming off the bench to back up, do whatever. He can play the 1 or the 2 off the bench. It's gonna be interesting tonight. Of course, you got the Clippers, pardon me, the Celtics, and let's go to the Celtics roster. Of course, you got Drew at the 1, Jalen Brown at the 2. Pardon me, Derek White at the 2, Jalen Brown at the 3, Jason Tatum at the 4, and Al Horford at the 5. We got Cat with the obvious advantage at the 5, and Anobi can guard Jason Tatum. Tatum is a great player offensively, but Anunoby can guard him. Jalen Brown is good. Josh Hart is going to be a pest. Mikal Bridges should actually guard Jalen Brown for the height advantage. Derek White, um, I don't really see him being that big of a factor against this type of team right here. And Drew Holiday is Drew Holiday. Actually got to play on Drew Holiday under 13 and a half points. Don't really love it because he actually plays well against the New York Knicks, who plays better than 13 points. But I'm taking a shot with this new defense to see if they could. Hopefully, he's the one that goes under on his points, if anybody goes under, because I got it. Um, so, yeah, it is what it is. Salute to you for again rocking with us. The other game, I really don't have a side either way. I'm gonna just go for player to player. Conley versus Russell. Give me Conley experience over Russell's, even though Russell looks to, have a great season this year. Anthony Edwards, of course, over Austin Reeves, his teammate in the Olympics. a few years back, right? Or FIBA or whatever. They definitely had a great time out there. And Anthony has a lot of respect for Reeves, but I think he's gonna go at him, of course. LeBron James going against Jaden McDaniels. I think LeBron comes out and tries to go crazy bully ball. Julius Randle on the other side, though. LeBron, now you got to deal with that because Rui Hachimura don't really want that problem. You're gonna put Rui on him? Oh man, Julius Randle to go to work on Rui Hachimura. Anthony Davis, Rudy Gobert. Of course, Anthony Davis with the edge there. Lakers got key players that are still out. Vanderbilt, Coloco, and Christian Wood. And see nobody on the injury report for Minnesota. For the Knicks, of course, Mitch Robinson is out. Precious Achiuwa is out. Kristaps Porzingis out for Boston. So give me the Knicks, man, and cover that 6 points, man. Possibly win it plus 190. It should be plus 200, in my opinion. They shortening us, so I'm take short. So maybe they're gonna crack me and I lose, but that's just how I'm feeling. Um, but again, you don't know what you don't know. Like I don't know what's gonna happen today, so it's just as bad as it's actually worse to me than playing a preseason game where I know like Knicks going into the preseason playing in Washington. They're gonna go in there and go to work. They'll go for it. Certain things like that. Just to give an example, whether or not they covered against them or not. I'm just saying. It's an example. Team A against Team B. Certain things I recognize, and you know, Sacramento Kings, and there's certain things I understand, and it works for me. So I want to get on here and share it with you in case you're looking for some assistance with your plays. Again, last podcast we did, we talked about avoiding the bad beat. You want to go back and check that out. Avoiding the bad beat and bad bets. Next one coming up, we're going to talk about these New York Knicks and how they did and the results from what we talked about in our plays because we got a lot of action. And I'll let me share that with you right quick too before I go. Right. All right, so let you know what the action is, so that way we can track our record from today, the 22nd, moving forward. For the most part, you're gonna get an understanding of what's going on here. All right, so we got the Knicks plus 6. We got Carolina Hurricanes on the money line. We got the over Boston Bruins and Nashville Predators over 6.5 or plus 114. The Carolina Hurricanes is plus 112. We got the under 5.5 goals in Vancouver and the Blackhawks. That's a plus 106. We got the Detroit Red Wings plus 136. We got the Washington Capitals plus 102. Minnesota Wild plus 130. We got the over 6.5 in the Colorado and Seattle Kraken. We got the Milwaukee Bucks to win versus the Philadelphia 76ers. No Embiid, no Maxi. That's tomorrow. We already are on that. Once we saw that news, we got the -3. They went to 3.5 now. So do your due diligence is what I would say there. Under 114.5 in the New York Knicks and Boston Celtics -110. Knicks money line plus 190. Drew Holiday under 13.5 -130. Carl Anthony Towns over 20 points with Drew Holiday under 13.5 points plus one for 164. New York Knicks money line plus 194. BC Wolves. This is overseas basketball. EuroLeague, right? Euro Cup. BC Wolves money line -152. BC Wolves -2.5, -116. Minnesota Timberwolves -1, -106. New York Knicks. See what I'm saying, I'm letting you know what I got because I got it all just at different times. So the lines may move and you're gonna see different numbers and different lines by the whenever time you see this, because some of you not even gonna see it before the show's over. But I'm saying it's just for record's sake, so y'all can understand the transparency on how I'm moving. You know, And even if I other play some other people, I'll say them on here. But for the most part, these are my plays. There are times when I do use play some other people. Um, it don't matter from where they could be from, because if I like it, then I'm gonna take responsibility and add them straights, parlays, everything. Because I'm gonna still weigh every play and make do my due diligence and take responsibility when I lost. All right. So with that being said, Knicks. I got the Knicks at plus 188 as well. I got the Knicks plus six minus 114. I got Alejandro Talibo in tennis. That game is actually live. He won the first set and is winning the second set. I got him at minus 126. The Kia Tigers. I don't know what's up with that game. It's actually frozen. I don't know if they won or lost or what, postponed or what. Los Angeles Lakers plus 102. So I have both sides, and I think I took the Lakers first, and maybe I'll change my mind. But I have this play in since I put this play in uh, 12 in the AM on the 21st. All right, so also at the Knicks plus five, minus 108. Again, that Kia Tigers gets came up. And I got some futures in, so I'm not going to mention these futures. Well, I do have the exacta future. The Yankees did beat the Dodgers in the World Series. Got that at 150 before the Mets game was over, because I knew they was going to beat the Mets. The Dodgers were. All right, so I'm up out of here, man. Wish y'all the best day ever. We got Major League Baseball coming soon. I believe that's next week. You got the Liberty Parade, so look for us on YouTube. I forgot we were on YouTube live right now too. Look for us on the can y'all hear us on the YouTube? Y'all should be good. All right. So look for us on we might be at the Liberty Parade, man. There might be a movie out there. All right, we off this one.
Bang, bang.